All right, so now I want to cover couple things in the app. That's some troubleshooting, just where you can find different things in the app that I haven't covered yet. So first thing that I want to cover is if you're having trouble connecting from the tablet to the mixer, one thing over here you want to make sure is you want to make sure that this is connected. So what you have is you have a direct access point. You can use the internal over here too, but I bypass all that. It's horrible. It sucks unless you're like standing right here, no interference. You can connect to it. Always use an external router with this, or hardwire it directly into a computer. So you can plug it in here, or you can go from the back of the router to a computer if you want to get a hardwired connection. A lot of times when I do events, especially the bigger rooms, I'm going to go directly hardwired, or at least have an option to be able to hardwire, and then that way I can control it with the tablet. And the cool thing about this is I can also connect to the tablet. I can also connect with my phone. You can have multiple devices controlling different things. So a lot of times when I'm EQing a room, I'll have two tablets on, different parts of the software, so that way I can EQ it. So one thing I want to go and show you is we have these bars at the very, very top. Let's go ahead and select on this. And so what this does is this is going to give us a layout of everything and where we're getting signal. So if you're wondering like, why am I not hearing something properly? Why don't we have anything coming out of the mains? You can go here quickly and look at and see what is all connected there. If you don't get sound, something's muted, you can go over here to the DCAs, and what this will do is this will show you the input for each one of DCAs. You also have an RTA readout, so that way you can see where the frequencies are all together coming for and what that profile looks like. So sometimes it'll go there depending on what I am looking to do. Now, let's go in here for DJs that want to be able to record their set. We're gonna go here to USB player, and we can go in here and we can hit record. And then what this does is you put a USB stick in this particular one, red light comes on, and now you're gonna go ahead and record a stereo track. It's gonna record all the microphones, all the music, everything. Whatever's coming out of the master is going to be here. And then when you're done, you can pop that out, pop that in your computer, and then you'll have your full set recorded. So it's a really, really nice tool to record your set on the fly or have a backup or recording if you want to record like the vowels or something like that. So it's a really good tool to have, and I use it quite a bit, especially when I'm working with like videographers. So I make sure that they have a backup too as well. So that's really cool about this mixer. So on the channel strip, you have a lot of different things that you're showing here, and you can show different things depending on what you want to see. So you can add to the channel strip. So let's go ahead and add a gain. Let's go ahead and add. So now when you go back here, this is now pushed down, so depending on what you want to see, it looks a little bit different. And so what you can do is now you can see everything and then be able to click on it really quickly to access each one of those different points. And you can also click on it and bring it up in here. So if you need to bring any of these up, you can long click or just hold on this, and you'll be able to adjust those different volumes right here on the fly. Me personally, this takes up too much screen real estate, and I like to have a longer fader, so I do not like that. So I'm gonna click on the channel strips and click on each one of these, and I'll be able to delete these. So I really like this app because you can really customize what you want for layout and what you want to see on each one of these strips. So me personally, I just like to see where it's panned, the label, the name, and be able to mute and then be able to bring these volumes up individually. So that's a really good feel for me and what I like personally. All right, so I want to talk about a situation that I do not suggest doing too much because it can get complicated, and if you forget this setting, it could affect you. But I want to talk about routing. And so let's say I had two different subs and I wanted to do aux1, aux2, and I want to route them to two different subs. Maybe I want one to be different levels. Maybe I want the EQ to be different. Let's say I'm mismatching subs, but I want to be able to control those with the same fader. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this, looks like almost like a tic-tac-toe board. We're going to go into output matrix, and you can go to aux out, and what you can do is you can tap where it's going in. So you have aux1 is going to aux1, and now we're going to go aux2, which was set on subs before, aux1. So now aux 1 and aux 2 are being controlled by the fader of bus 1. So bus 1, aux 1. So when we have the fader of bus 1 here, we bring this up and down, it's going to bring on here aux 1 and 2 is going to be controlled either, you know, on this we have it set up for wireless, or what it's labeled here is bus 1. So you can do some unique things with that depending on what you want to do. I don't suggest it too much, but there has been times where I've connected that together where I've had different speakers or different subs, and I want to be able to make sure that they're controlled the same, just using one fader instead of having to bring two different faders. Most of the time I won't do that, but in certain situations I will use this tool. All right, so let's go ahead and cover how we can change different effects. So we have this effects button at the very top, and you'll see that we have our effects. So right now what we have is we have a vintage room, and then we have a hall reverb. So what we're going to want to do is you're going to want to long hold this. Now this gets us into all the different effects. So you have your reverbs, delays, EQs, pitch, filter, and you can go on the different settings here and choose all the different. Most of the time I have a reverb and then a stereo delay is all I use. So you have those two different settings there, and that is how you're going to change that. And then obviously go into the reverb here. I've changed the label to the effect, so that way on each one of those channels I know which effect I'm using, whether it's the channel for the reverb or the delay. So you can go in there and change that. Now when you go into effects, you can go here and you can change the different types. But if you click on these three dots and drop down, this is where you can change how the profile of how it sounds, whether you sometimes want to do a tap delay where you're actually physically having to tap, but this is where you can go in and manipulate each one of those sounds. A lot of times I just leave it as is. It's pretty good straight out of the box, but it really just depends on what we have going on. Now, what I want to do is talk about an advanced way to be able to use this. So what I'm actually going to do is on effects 1, I'm going to go click on effects. I'm going to go here, and where it says left insert, right insert, I'm gonna go ahead and click mic 1. So it's inserted on mic 1. And then also I'm gonna, on the right, I'm gonna insert it into mic 2. And then I'm going to press insert mode, and then I'm gonna turn this on. And so now what we have going on, check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, check 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, so now that we've gone in here on the effects and then I've inserted this, what this does is you don't want to use this per se for like reverb delays, but you might want to use it for like a parametric EQ. So you notice when we went to the mains, we're able to go into that graph and be able to bring everything down individually. Now, if you want to do that on an individual layer, this is where I would go in here. Let's go ahead and hold this down, and then we're going to go to the EQ, and we're going to get a dual like GEQ. So now when you click on this, you now have a new graph. And so what this is doing is you'll have usually, you know, your fader, the input gain, then it's going to go from there into, you know, the buses, and then out to your speakers. But before it gets there, we're gonna have the effects on the tail end. So it's near the end of the chain. So it's gonna get all its signal and flow down and then get to the effects. We're now taking this effects and we're inserting it at the very beginning. And now we have no longer the control of the input. It's just 100% versus there's no wet and dry signal there. So the wet and dry is at the end with the faders that we can control how much of that we, how much of the effects that we want to send to the speakers out. This, like an EQ, is a perfect example where you don't want to wet and dry. You want to be able to go in here and remove the frequencies that you don't want. And you can use each effect and you can send it to two different channels. So right now it's set to both these microphones. So if I'm having trouble EQing these microphones and I want to use a 32 band EQ, this is where I'm going to go here and do the insert. But a lot of times I don't want to do that. So we're going to go ahead and turn this insert mode off. And then we're gonna go ahead and put this back to our reverb, just a hall reverb for now. And so that is a situation where you might want to use that. A little bit more advanced on how to do that because it's really hard to be able to see everything. I usually want to have 2 iPads so I can go in there and properly EQ everything, bring up the volume. So that is a case where you'll use that for effects on a DJ set. A lot of times if I'm inside of a church and I have the groom's lapel and I'm getting really bad feedback, I'll go ahead and I will insert the effect there. That is about the only time that I like to use that personally on a DJ set. I know it has a lot of different use cases, but that's how I want to do that. So now let's talk about using more microphones with like a band. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and hook some of these different microphones that I use on my different events. And so what we have here is Shure Beta 58. Really love this microphone, but it needs a lot of gain, but it's a very clean sounding microphone. If you've ever seen a concert, music videos, this is a lot of people's go-to microphone that they'll use. So let's go ahead and plug this in. We're gonna be on channel 3 for this. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, if you notice in here, channel 3, we are, hey, getting no volume. Check, I'll bring it all the way up. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So we're gonna go in here in the gain. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. So you notice it's a very clean sound. Let's go ahead and turn on our compressor. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is a really, really good microphone. A lot of rejection, real clown, but you literally have to be on top eating this microphone for it to sound good. And it does take a lot of gain. Cool thing about this mixer is we do have some Midas preamps here. We have 4 of them on this mixer. The rest of them don't. This can go up to, I believe, let's go ahead and see. I think it's about 50 dB of gain. Nope. You get 60 dB of gain. So you get a lot of gain here where when we plug into, let's go into channel, let's go to our DDJ real quick and see. And I believe this is only 20. Yes. So all the 1/4 inch jacks, you only get about 20 dBs of gain. The rest of them you do get 60 because it does have those Midas preamps. So there's 4 on this mixer. I believe you have on the XR16, you're gonna have 8 of them. And then on the 32, all 32 of them are going to have those Midas preamps. Now, check 1, 2, 1, 2. So this is a good situation where I want to put a microphone on a stand, or if we have a singer, somebody playing guitar, we'll put this over there for them, and then we'll also plug in their guitar too as well. So let's go ahead and unplug that. I'll just go ahead and plug this one in. Now this is not going to sound good because it is not meant for singing at all, but let's see if we get sounds. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So this particular microphone, this is a Sennheiser 609. So usually what I'll do is somebody that is playing like a violin, I'll set this right above them, facing down, and then they can play their violin here, and it's going to pick up the sound from that. It's going to pick up the sound on this side, but not on this side. That's why it says front. So depending on what we have going on, we'll be able to use different microphones on this basis, and this is usually what I'll do here. So let's go ahead. Check 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. So now if you have something that is like a condenser microphone and you do need phantom power for that, what you're gonna do here is you're gonna go over here where it says plus 48 volts, and you're gonna hold this down, and now this is gonna turn on and it's gonna be red, and we're now sending phantom power to this microphone. So if you have a microphone that needs phantom power, you can send it through here. I notice depending on different microphones that I use, you're tapped out about 100 feet. So after 100 feet, it's a little finicky when you're sending out phantom power, so you might need to do that inline, but it's a really great system and it's really adaptable if you need to send phantom power to like a condenser style microphone. Really good mixer that I like to use. So use this at all my events, whether it's a ceremony or reception, and then this way I have options when I get there. They come up to me and go, oh, by the way, we have Lucy is going to sing. We also have keyboards. Can we hook up? And Uncle wants to play a guitar. And this gives you that versatility on this mixer to do all these different things. So this right here is what we'll use for a ceremony or a reception. I'll have this underneath the table for my reception setup. Take my DDJ, plug directly into this, and this is how you get sound coming through everything. It's a little bit more cumbersome, but man, it is well worth it when it comes to having the control over your setup. Different channels, EQ, compression, effects. I really like it for these small events. I wouldn't choose a different kind of setup. Yes, it's a little bit more cumbersome, a little bit more equipment. It does cost a significant amount more money, but is well worth it. I absolutely love the system, and one thing that I love about this is I can actually go around the room as I'm EQing something and be able to see how the microphone sounds. This is super crucial when it comes to ceremonies because I can actually stand up at the altar, put the microphones on me, and be able to EQ the sounds instead of having to run back and forth, turning up the mix or turning it down. So this is a really, really good setup. I know they have a lot of speakers that have built-in mixers that are connected via Bluetooth, but just what I have found, the delay is so bad on those. You can't tell what you're doing in real time. The RTA is not there. And so I really like this setup of being able to walk around the room and just the different option that is available here. My name is Alex with DJ Cutt Entertainment. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.